Hey guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time here, welcome to the family. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to this channel. So for today's video, I'll be making that shoulder bag you saw, the fluffy shoulder bag, and we'll not be making use of sewing machine. So don't get scared if you feel you don't have a sewing machine. This is a no sewing machine DIY project. So guys, I'm just going to go ahead and tape my cardboard paper. If you notice, I got a new background, guys, and I'm so excited. And we have someone else in the family. We have a ring light. I'm so excited as well. Nails check. My nails are looking fine today, not like the other time, not like the one you saw. So I'm just going to go ahead and tape this because it was difficult for me to get patterned papers, so I'll be making use of the cardboard paper. So I'm just going to tape this on the background so it stays while we film. So getting started, guys, I'll be making use of my scissors, as you all know, my measuring tape, and of course my marker or your pen if you don't have a marker around you. So guys, I actually need a ruler for this tutorial, but I really don't have one. Pardon me, I know this is totally uncalled for. I'm going to go ahead and mark out the length of the bag, which is from the shoulder to where I want it to end, and I'll be making use of 23 inches, guys, for the length. So I'm just going to place that on this, and from the top of the cover paper, I'm sorry, I have to adjust my camera. I'm not really okay with the setting. And I told you I'll be using 23 inches. If you can see it, this is my 23 inches. So I'm just going to mark by the side. I hope this red marker helps us to see clearly. So now that I've known the full length, I'm just going to extend this line to this other side with the width of the bag that I want to use. And I'm going to be cutting my bag in 14 inch, that is 14 inches wide, including my sewing allowance. But since I'm cutting it on a pattern, means when I'm cutting the pattern paper on the fabric, I'm going to be cutting it on a fold. So I'm going to divide that 14 by 2, inclusive of my sewing allowance, which is going to give me 7 inches. So I'm just going to place the 7 inches here where I marked the length, and I'll mark my 7 inches here, guys. So I'm going to connect this line. I apologized already for not having a ruler here. I'm going to connect it like this, and then over to the shoulder part, I'm going to bring this close so you all can see clearly. I don't have a table, guys, so hope you all understand. I'm going to mark the shoulder of the bag, the width. So for the measurement of the shoulder, I'll be using 4 inches. That's, I'll be marking 2 inches on the pattern paper. By the time I cut it on fold on the fabric, I'm going to have 4 inches, and by the time I take half an inch sewing allowance from both sides while sewing this project, I'm going to have 3 inches left. I hope you understand that. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark 2 inches now. For the armhole of the bag, I marked 10 inches, and I later reduced it, guys, but let's just flow with the video. I marked 10 inches for the armhole of the bag. Like that's the space where I can pass my arm through. It's almost like cutting an armhole of your shirt. So I marked the same 7 inches around here to be sure we are on the same line, and then I connected a straight line using my book. Please use your ruler if you have a ruler around you. So I connected a straight line to enable us curve properly because we're going to be curving some things around here. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect the 2 inches from my shoulder line to meet up with my armhole line. It's just like cutting your armhole for your blouse or your shirt, and so since my armhole length is 10 inches, I'm going to find the midpoint of the armhole, which is 5 inches. In another 5 inches, I'm going to start my curve, and it's going to meet the 7 inches at the other end. Mind you, this pattern drafting includes my measurements, all my measurements, guys. So I connected it like that, and the curve was not so bad. If you have your curve ruler, please do well to make use of it. So from the 7 inches at my armhole point, I'm going to connect it to the 7 inches at the length of the fabric with a straight line. And guys, this is basically like everything for the pattern cutting of this bag. So if you want yours to come down a bit, if you're not okay with the armhole, which I later brought mine down, you can go down where I marked 10 inches. You can mark probably 11, 12 or so. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out now, and I'll explain later what went down. So now that I have my patterns cut out, I'm going to go ahead and work on the armhole. Like I mentioned earlier, I wasn't okay with the armhole, so I came down from where I marked the first armhole, which was 10 inches. I came down by 2 inches, which means I used 12 inches for my armhole. You can do the same thing if you want to, or probably you can just measure from your shoulder to where you want the bag, so the bag armhole to end. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect a curve from that midpoint. I'm just going to bring it down slightly and connect it to this new armhole line, guys. So that's just like the only changes, nothing serious, nothing much. I hope I was able to carry you all along. So guys, I'm just going to go ahead and cut out that excess, and then I'll cut the pattern paper on the fabric. So guys, I just finished cutting out the pattern paper on the fabric, and I cut it on fold, and I cut out 4 pieces of this, which is because two side of it is going to be serving as the outer side of the bag, and the other sides are going to, the other fabric is going to be serving as the lining or the inner side of the bag. So whichever way you flip it, you're still going to be having this fluffy fabric all around it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 2 pieces of the fabric that we cut, and I'm going to be making use of my needle and thread, no sewing machine. So I'm going to place this on each other, right face facing each other, and I'm going to sew up those 2 ends. And whatever I do to this side, I'm going to do it to the other side, which is the lining as well. So I'm basically going to sew this off camera, because sewing this on the camera is really going to take time, and I don't intend to make this video long, but there's some parts you're going to see me sewing on camera, so I'm just going to do that, guys, and I'll be back. So guys, I've gone ahead to stitch up the ends that I told you that I'll be stitching up, and this is what it looks like. I'm not really a pro at hand stitching, but if you are, I'm sure most of you are better than me, so I'm sure you're going to be killing this tutorial. So I made sure the parts that I was sure that this wasn't tight, I went ahead twice to do this, so I know it's firm. So I'm just going to flip this over so we have a view of what this is looking like, because it's almost like this isn't making sense. So this is what our back is going to look like. So this is just like the outer part or the lining part, whichever one. So I'm going to repeat the same thing I did to that part that I just put aside. I'm going to repeat it to this side.